What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Awakening World. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas from the Global Peace Tribe, and it's been an incredible week. It has been a week of world unity, over 200 workshops, seminars, lectures, presentations, everything that you could possibly imagine from people coming all around the world. And so tonight, for the fourth year in a row, the Global Peace Tribe is celebrating World Unity Week. We kind of kicked it off last Saturday night with an opening ceremony, and tonight we're kind of closing it out. They are just completing their closing ceremony, and then a lot of the key people, Ben and Becky and John and Summer, are going to be coming on over into our Zoom room to share some of the highlights of what took place. So it's going to be a really fun show. And we also have, now we're kind of completing World Unity Week, and we're looking forward. We're looking ahead to the 99 Days of Unity. And our special kind of keynote speaker is Kurt Johnson. And you've seen Kurt on the show before. He does so many things. He's an editor, he's a scientist, he's an author, he is a master networker. He is the person who kind of organizes and coordinates 20 synergy circles that are made up of a lot of the evolutionary leaders and you. And we're going to hear from Kurt about what 99 Days of Unity really means and how we can move forward this summer. And for those of you down under this winter, in collaboration. So we've got Kurt with us. And then Janice Hall, we appreciate you very much, Janice. And you've brought Uncle Bunna with us. And Uncle Bunna Laurie is a senior elder of the Murning people. And that is one of the great Australian bites. He is recognized as the official whale songman. He carries one of the world's oldest lineage, going back 3,000 generations. And he is going to share with us whale wisdom, really a deep understanding of our ancestry. And Uncle Bunna, it's a real honor to have you with us. We're also going to hear from a lot of the World Unity Week people who's presented, like our friend Andrew Bailey. And so that's going to be fun. And of course, music with Omashar. And some of you might have seen him. He just did a closing song for World Unity Week. And you get to now do an opening song for the Awakening World.
I know there's no such thing as a closing. And I was just musing on what my takeaway from this week was, and I couldn't really put my mind to it, but I could put my heart to it. and seeing all of the pledges, seeing all of the beautiful faces and smiles, seeing the true collaboration of everybody during this week, what I was feeling is a sense of growing love in myself. And that was a miracle, because it's something that I've missed in my heart for so long, is a sense of trust and hope and safety and love. And that it was growing in myself made me know that it's palpable and real. And so that's all I'm going to say about that. And we'll just have a little song here called Rainbow Nation. How about that? What? And that's that. And we're ready. We are the heart of our world, the light in our world. We are the joy in our world, the love in our world. Are gathered in this nation, raising frequency, raising vibration. Hearts are open, hands together, loving each other, sisters and brothers. 'Cause what we are is life in form, and light in form will lift us all. So don't give up on walking tall. The time is now, so heed the call, and wake up to the light of this new day. We are the heart of our world, the light in our world. We are the joy in our world, the love in our world. Showing our colors, Rainbow Nation, higher frequencies, higher vibration. Minds are open, love is flowing, lifting each other. Yes, we are growing, because what we are is light in form, and light in form will lift us all. So don't give up on walking tall. The time is now, so heed the call, and wake up to the light of this new day. 'Cause we are the heart of our world, the light in our world. We are the joy in our world, the love in our world. We are the heart of our world, the light in our world. We are the joy in our world, the love in our world.
Awesome. Let's go to gallery view, everybody, and give some twinkles And some love to beautiful, beloved brother Omashar.
Thank you, Summer. Right?
We got Summer Joy and Andrew and Karen. I mean,
I
they're
know
some
we
of our
are the
great
light in this
global
world
peace
and the love
drivers.
in this world. Thank you.
Wow. Hey, everybody, while we're thinking about Omashar, just a reminder that we can support him best by going to his website, omashar.com. That's easy to remember, omashar.com. And you can learn all about him and buy his music. We always want to encourage people to buy it at Bandcamp because they are the most generous. So thank you, Bandcamp. And thank you, Omashar. And we're going to have another Omashar song pretty soon in the show. So we're excited about that. Well, World Unity Week just completed a few minutes ago. And so we want to hear from any of you, that includes audience members that had a powerful experience of World Unity Week. What took place for you? What's a workshop, a seminar that blew your mind? What's something that you didn't know or that you rediscovered? And I'll kick it off with one of the ones I really enjoyed. Obviously, there's a lot of hoopla right now about artificial intelligence. And there was a wonderful program just yesterday morning all about compassion and artificial intelligence. And they actually had, you probably have seen Sophia, the robot, and her creator, David. And it was fascinating, really learning all about kind of the process of creating this incredible, amazing artificial intelligence being that looks and has facial features and what she can do and what she can't. And it's total Star Trek. And I'm a big Star Trek junkie. So that was one of the things that I really enjoyed. So if other people have something they want to share about World Unity Week, whether you're a presenter or just one of our regular Global Peace Drivers, or even if you're brand new, raise your hand or put it in the chat box. Put in the chat box what you'd like me to read, or raise your hand if you'd like me to put the camera on you. And I'm going to put the camera on the person who got us off to the best possible start, and that's Summer Joy Raymer. I'm wondering who else participated in her amazing 24-hour dance-a-thon. Just before World Unity Week started, she, for the second year in a row, did 24 hours of dance. And I had her on my computer from the very start until the very end. I never hung up. And I'd get up at like 1 o'clock in the morning to, and there she was still dancing. And I'd get at 4 o'clock in the morning, and there she was still dancing. And I really appreciate some of you who did come in and dance with her. And there were people who came in and danced with you early in the morning. So Summer Joy, I'm turning it over to you. Tell us about your experience of this week.
Well, I want to start by honoring the artistry of this. Isn't this amazing?
It looks like a Kara Stonehouse.
Yes, she just shared it like moments ago in the sort of continuation ceremony. She shared this with us, and I just really want to honor her incredible artistry and also just way she held space throughout World Unity Week. I'm just, so there's so many people that make the light of this art come to life. And I see so many of you here in this Zoom room, and I think there's just like an energy. I was just, John and I were sitting in our front on our deck yesterday having a fire, and we had Ben on Messenger with us. And I told Ben and John, I was like, I don't want this to end. There's been years in the past, this is the 4th year, and there's so much energy flowing through all of this. And thankfully we're not ending. It's the 99 days continue. And it's really this incredible energy, which I really want to acknowledge my husband too, around this anchoring in missions and call to actions. And so, one of my wild, crazy call to actions was to dance for 24 hours. And it has unfolded this amazing emergent beauty about connecting with the stars and the patterns of 99, and this, blossoming of recognizing the medicine woman that I really am, and also how much I love to help others do that in what it is their, edges are of what their wishes are for the world, and doing that from what I call the Garden of Joy. And so there's so much energy that comes in that space. And there were many people that are in this Zoom room. Dana, that is here. I think she's here. Andrew was with me. I just want to call out those of you that came in throughout the 24 hours. And even for like Scott and Karen, who runs the hub, like she would tell me that she was there in the room and sleeping. And I felt those even that weren't dancing, but they were present. Their energy was a part of it. And it was this, beautiful, sustaining energy that was the dance that, completed a week ago today. And there's just going to be a lot more of that in this space that I'm co-stewarding with Heather Elizabeth. Every 9 days, we're going to be offering little tastes of that 24-hour dance and making a momentum up to another one that we'll be offering just in the beginnings of what will be Peace Week in September. So yeah, you just, when you feel the call, like you started the Global Peace Tribe, right? You just never know what's going to emerge in this amazing new Earth rising.
So Christy Michaels just asked a good question. How did you dance that long without just being exhausted? How did you handle food and your body and all those things?
Oh, you just make it work. When I think for any of us that have, I just, so many of the people that held the space, I don't think my husband slept much all week. Ben Bowler, many people don't think there's 10 Ben Bowlers and, 20 Becky Suziks. I don't think that it's, as crazy as it may seem, there's so many people that are like connected, which I would call the holo movement. And a taste of what's coming is, I think we limit ourselves more than we realize. And there's a lot more energy and life force energy, especially when we're listening to the deepest calls within, that there's energy there when we, meet that person that is going to, Omashar was just talking about how he wants to meet someone to work on his record. And when you meet that person, right, it's just like, it opens up energy and possibilities. So, I prepared myself for it energetically, physically, spiritually, but it was really a deep, intuitive listening experience. So I don't know if I really answered it, but.
Well, you gave us a taste. I'm imagining it must have been a spiritual experience. Did you have any kind of a, come to Jesus moment?
All the time. That's kind of the story of my life. I'm a very, very spiritual person, Scott, and I'm deeply, deeply listening all the time. And, in those really, really later parts of the night when it was dark in my backyard and John had lit our fire and there were a few people in the room, there was just these like deep, intimate, but beautiful exchanges with people that were like in the 12th hour, that I felt like the Great Mother in the music, making eye contact, dancing, and just feeling kind of this connection to everything that felt like life was saying yes, yes. Yes, deeply spiritual.
Dana writes, we are superhuman. And Maureen writes, passion equals energy amped. And Reverend Jeffrey writes, dance our lovolution into the world.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
behind every superwoman dancer, there does tend to be a great man. And so I want to bring, he's paddling up in the magic canoe. He's putting down his paddle, is coming ashore. Perfect.
Yes.
Someone
Yes.
got me a bigger paddle. As the week unfolded, I realized I was going to need one. She got one.
The canoe's getting pretty big, John.
Oh my God, lots of room. Everybody's welcome. Summer is amazing. She is spiritual. And it's that sacred yes.
Yeah.
She
You gotta
did it.
listen.
She was going to do it. And she did it.
And you're listening. I mean, so much of what you're doing as well, and inviting others. There are catalysts among us that are inviting us to radically collaborate. And I can see many of them in this room. I mean, Scott Katamas, you are definitely one of them. This fine, generous, like there's always, your circle always has an opening for more. Kurt Johnson, these people, Janice Hall, like I just think of these people and I'm just like, they're so catalyzing something that you want to care for, you want to be a part of. Ben Bowler, I think he just turned into the holy cow. I saw Andrew. I mean, these people, and I think that I just feel it's so important that it isn't just about praising or putting anyone up above anybody. I just really feel we are all a reflection of each other, and this is all possible within us. And I feel that's what the magic canoe is inviting us into, this belonging, to helping each other find our way home to a really beautiful place,
For me, there's an important distinction I call authentic recognition. This is not about praise. This is really people that are willing to sacrifice. How many times did Kurt Johnson's name come up in that last session? That Kurt put the word out. That means he took the time from something he might have wanted to do for himself and did something to make other people's lives better. That's true of Janice. That's true of you, Scott. That's different. This is not a place to just praise. We need authentic recognition. And when we're doing that, we realize that things turn out different, but making space for that. So I'm so glad you had Kurt there. Just seeing him makes me smile. It was so sweet, Kurt. Were you in that last session and saw how you were woven?
No, I have to say that the reason I wasn't in the final session, I have a deadline on Irvin Laszlo's next book on Monday, his book, The Great Upshift. And so I just had to do that sometime. So I was on programs in the afternoon and then needed to be back here, get the stuff done for Irvin. And it's an exciting book, The Great Upshift. So, and that's where we're going. Actually, we had a meeting today where people were talking about you and Ben and this whole thing that's been unleashed about this radical collaboration. Everybody's voice is welcome. Everybody's gift is welcome. There's a place for everyone's voice. Everybody gets a paddle in the canoe. And we were actually talking about a reassessment that's going to be needed by all of our networks going through the summer and fall, about how we're now living into all of that new potential. So huge hats off to you and all that you guys have done, guys and gals, the last week.
Holy cow! That must be Ben Bowler.
And I'm a bit speechless here. So just to let everybody know, we're going to hear from Kurt in a few minutes. He's got a whole presentation for us. We're going to hear from John Raymer a little bit later in the show. John's going to tell us all about what's happening with 99 Days of Unity and how we're all going to collaborate. We're going to close everything with a dance party led by Summer. So we're going to have more Summer, a lot more John, a lot more Kurt. But holy cow, there he is, the man who, talk about not sleeping. Summer went 24 hours. You've probably gone 7 days, huh?
That's definitely in an altered state of reality. Look, you're right to start with Summer Joy, because I think that performance and that effort of devotion, it's devotional to do that. Crazy. It's crazy. Why would you dance for 24 hours nonstop to like 13.99-minute sets? It was absolutely. I think I knew this was going to be a special World Unity Week when I heard about that, and I tried my best to jump in the room a couple of times and just experience it a little bit. But I think that set the scene, set the tone for what it takes. It takes something extraordinary if we're going to become something or if we're going to go somewhere we've never been before. We have to become something we've never been before. That's a quote from Haile Selassie. But it's to do that takes an extraordinary level of devotion and commitment. And so that was a beautiful ceremonial way to kick it off. And I think I could have slept more than I did. John was often saying, go to bed, go to bed. But there was something about the process, Scott, which was like almost like what I've heard about a Sundance, or what you hear about, these transformational moments where you just don't want to miss a thing. And there was incredible content coming through, and there was amazing energy and extraordinary people, the community. I want to give a shout out to those, some might be here, some maybe not, but Janice Hall and Joni Carley and Linda Bjork and Chief Dwayne Perry and Brooklyn and others that broadcast what happened today from Split Rock. It was amazing. If that's all that happened in the last 3 months, it would have been an extraordinary 3 months. But this whole thing is just it's a galaxy of amazing. We need new words. I'm running out of words. So that's a sign to me that we're on the edge of something new. And it was so beautiful. People were in tears in the Zoom room, watching it on social media. They could feel the purpose of that was, for people who may not know, was to really present Split Rock as a global portal of world spirituality. And Chief Perry is such a humble leader. I mean, how could anybody get ahead of themselves when they're around people like Kurt and people like Chief Perry? And there's so many amazing leaders in this community. It's a godsend. I think this is an intervention. I don't know about for everybody, but I know at different points in my life, I've prayed for an intervention. I've prayed for an intervention, that we need divine help. And I've in very kind of raw moments, as a young kid and as an adult, just reached to the depths of my soul, Scott, and prayed for help. And I think this is it. I think we are that intervention, and maybe that's the greatest gift of all, to do it together. So thank you. Thank you. I mean, thank all of you. Thank you.
Ben, and let's just take a moment to thank you, because you are the central organizing principle, and absolutely John and Summer and Becky and Arena and all the hub angels, so many people. But let's take a moment, everybody, and let's give an awakening world twinkle to Ben Bowler. This is your moment to receive that. So your moment to breathe it in and just receive our love, our appreciation for you. We turned him into a cow, everybody. We turned him into a cow. You saw the power of the awakening world turning Ben Bowler into hopefully a happy cow.
Holy cow.
Cow.
On a good day. Yeah. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone. We love you. I'm going to stay. I can't leave, so I'll be around. I just want to enjoy
Ben,
the rest of the show.
one question. Can you, either you or John, I'll bring John up, can one of you right now show people how they can find the recordings? So, for example, I watched the Split Rock. We actually broadcast it out over the Awakening World. But so somebody is watching right now and they go, oh, wow, Chief Twain, Split Rock. How do I find that replay? How do I find that recording?
Okay,
John,
there's a really easy way for the Room 1 ones, if I can here, Scott. Just go to worldunityweek.org. So from the homepage, just from the homepage here, excuse me if my thing's a bit slow. It's and then right here, this is just Room 1. It's not all the other rooms. And John can take you through how to find the other ones, but this is video on demand for Room 1. You click it. It's on the homepage of World Unity Week, and it'll take you through to the it'll take you through well, it's supposed to take you through. There you go. But if you click on that, it'll get you through. I think my computer is given up the ghost after 8 days of not being turned off. But that's how you find it. And they're all there.
All right. Thank you. And John, I'm going to turn it over to you to show us more.
I just put it in the chat, that link as well, to the one stream. Yeah. So it's there, and more is going to follow, because one of the things that we're learning is really how to make the most meaning and value out of this. So this link, Unity Earth's got this one stream, and you can go here and see what you missed. So that's one resource. There's a number of them. So also we're going to put up the recordings on the World Unity Week website. So you'll be able to go back to the room. And each of these events, when you click on them, we'll have associated with them the link to get to the recording. Right now it tells you who the presenters were, the Facebook event, but we'll add the recording link here as well. And the other thing I want to say that we're doing, and you mentioned the AI, Scott, we're going to summarize. We're going to take the transcriptions and summarize those transcriptions and edit those transcriptions. It's kind of a different pattern how people can gain access. So before they're being asked to listen to the whole session, here, this is what the essence of that session was. And I won't tell you, I've been thinking and using and appreciating this AI, but there's one important thing. It came out of my mouth today. I wrote it down. I think it's the name of the paper is AI doesn't care. AI doesn't care. And you know how I know? I asked ChatGPT, how would ChatGPT describe that phrase? And it's really important that we get that distinction, because we're all in a situation where we're got a new role here on Earth. We have a super intelligence available to us, unlike anything we've ever seen. But it's clear that, and AI will be the first to say it. So here, let me show you, is that AI can make decisions based on data, but does not care about these objectives in the way that humans might care about their goals. Right? AI operates purely on logic, algorithms, and the instructions provided to it. This is what's uniquely us, our caring for each other and for our world. Now, this super intelligence is incredible and it's powerful, and we could use it to articulate and be aware of what the collective intelligence of the world has been thinking. But I'm convinced that World Unity Week has a lot more value to be gained from what just happened there because of this new set of tools. And Scott, you pointed me to one, right? Take a transcription from a YouTube video, tell it to automatically summarize into 5 points. It's genius, guys, but it doesn't care. And our role, we get beyond the words. So I'm really inspired by what we've just done, but that's only beginning what we're about to do. So we want to encourage everyone to think about how you can use this period of time as a catapult for you and your work and the work of each other. Like Omishar looking for a record producer, or Scott wanting to triple the volume of the audience, the size of the audience by September. This is the idea of 99 days of radical collaboration by teaming up. So Tamsin, if some of you have seen her work, she's amazing. She's going to be guiding us. We're all doing a radical collaboration on radical collaboration. I want to show you a little bit when you're ready, Scott. I know you.
Yeah, what I want to do is do a little more celebration of World Unity Week, hear from Kurt, and then we're going to go to you. I'll pop the agenda. You weren't here for the pre-show, but I'll send you the agenda. John's going to show us how we're going to move forward. And I want to hear from some of the other people that were involved in World Unity Week. I noticed that some of the room stewards and people that did things have joined us. So if you were a room steward and you want to share about World Unity Week, raise your hand or send me a message, and I'll call on you. And I'm going to call on one of our favorite Global Peace Tribers. This is Bonnie and Roger. And I see you've raised your hand. What do you want to share about World Unity Week? You got to unmute.
Yeah, I did. I think I did.
You did, Roger.
Yeah, there was a couple of things, but the one that stood out was the talk on love, and love and equals abundance. And I go, that was really hit home for me. There was some of the meditations really too. They were really good. I love there were some good meditations. I think they came out of the Portal to Ascension room, and yeah,
excellent.
There were good stuff. And I also the one yesterday with Matthew Fox. I think Kurt Johnson was involved in that, and it was really good. I really loved those discussions. Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
AI was interesting too. That's the people need to wake up and pay attention to that, I think.
We're going to do an entire weekend of shows about AI. I'm collaborating with Deborah Giusti, Jonathan Robinson, Ismail Perez, Adam Apollo. We're going to do a whole weekend of August 19th about AI. So that's going to be kind of the awakening world extravaganza, if you will, to explore about it. But I really thought that the workshop or the presentation yesterday was quite interesting, really looking at, okay, can there be compassion and what's it going to take? And obviously it's going to take programmers that are compassionate to program the robots, the AI properly. I will later on show the bandana. Jasmine Bear is with that right now.
Yes.
Looking forward to the bandana that you sent us. Thank you, Bonnie and Roger.
You're welcome.
Right. Andrew Bailey, I'm going to call on you. Andrew, what stood out for you in World Unity Week?
Well, are you hearing me?
We sure are.
Excellent. So wow, what a phenomenon. And as I think you know, I was on a race to get my teaser made for the In Search of the Future movie, which I got done on the 21st on the solstice. So that's beautiful. And we've got that's available for, and many of you on this screen right now are in this film. It's just a tiny little sampler. It's gorgeous. And the other thing we did, and Connie sends her love, her son's getting married tomorrow. So we're in Aspen, Colorado at a friend's home. And I think we presented 3 times or 4 times. I'm not quite sure. It was almost a blur. I did get at least an hour and a half sleep this week, if I recall. So I'm not as bad as Ben. And completely phenomenal. And it was just, for me, the highlight, strangely enough, was the privilege of getting to be with all of you, presenting with all of you, leading a meditation to the wormhole at the center of the universe, which I didn't know we were going to go there. We suddenly emerged through a pixel at Planckian level, and here we are. So it's been quite a week, as you can imagine. I was also going through an outrageous, contentious thing with my kids, which is a whole explosion from a divorce of 20 years ago. And quite extraordinary. So it was a crazy, crazy, beautiful week. And started out down in Loveland, Colorado at Sunrise Ranch with wild storms and thunderstorms and flash floods and really intense, and ended up here at 8,000 feet. I'm looking out of the window here at Mount Sopris. The sun is about to set. It is so gorgeously, divinely beautiful. That's been my week, friends.
Fantastic. Well, we don't have time to show the whole trailer because it's 10 minutes long, but we're going to give people a teaser of the teaser. Here's a little bit of what Andrew's been working on. And of course, when the whole thing is done, we'll have an Awakening World showing of the entire film. But let's take a look at a taste of it. And it features our beloved Tatiana, who I met through you, Ben. The Holy Cow is how I met Tatiana. And she's one of our favorite presenters. She's probably sung on this show now, I don't know, a dozen times. Anyway, here we go.
The world is changing, the world's on fire. I want to do my part to inspire change.
So deep is our crisis now that there has never been a time like this.
I think all of us know that our world is fraught with escalating crises at almost every level.
I've been asked a number of times whether or not there is a reasonable likelihood that the extraterrestrial civilization will intervene in some way to try to save us from ourselves.
Wow, our planet is in crisis. How did we get here? You know how we got here? We forgot to honor each other and the sacred. We forgot to honor the truth of who we are.
If you're viewing this, this is a divine appointment that you have to
view whatever time and any moment that is that I'm sharing this fire with you. Because this heart fire is the time that we come back.
So I am just so excited to be thinking about the next period of time. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We are living through this most auspicious and extraordinary moment.
We have been living for 5,000 years under the rule of the lowest common dominator. And of course, that means that the rule of gold has overruled the golden rule. Now, the rule of gold, do unto others before they can do unto you. This has left us with a lot of residue to metabolize.
I mean, you look around.
I'm only going to stop because otherwise we're going to watch the whole thing, but it's fabulous. So many of our friends, everybody from Swami to Ben to Pookie, all of our friends.
And I think some surprise people that many of you may not yet have met, because we sort of move in a number of different circuits.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Well, please put the link in where people can watch the entire thing. Okay,
Sure.
put that in.
I will do that.
And we're going to go to Christy Michaels next. And by the way, Christy and I and Eden Amadora are putting together a show on July 22nd. It's like about 4 weeks from tonight, I think, something like that.
Yes.
The Feast of the Mary Magdalene. But here she is, Christy Michaels. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Scott. Thank you. And I just ditto to everybody. The energy is just phenomenal. I'm so excited and happy. And Becky and I were in the room. If you haven't seen it, I put the link in it, but I realized afterwards I made the commercial for Unity.Earth about why we do what we do, because if you don't know the backstory about how one woman and her fierce dedication to peace brought the Berlin Wall down, it shows you how quantum physics intersects into the walls that are built and actually helps the walls to come down. And it's all tied with the quantum physics that's in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. It's an eye-opening kind of revelation to see that this work that we're doing, which people would call soft peace work, is actually super powerful. And what we need to do is to understand hardcore examples where, like the Liberian peace women who sat in peace, and in their sitting in peace, they ended up removing a brutal dictator that was raping and pillaging the women in the villages. So it just shows you that the work that we're doing is going to work. It's going to happen. And I'm so excited to be a part of it. So thanks, Scott.
Fantastic, Christy. Looking forward to the show we're going to do together shortly.
Yes.
All right. Well, I am going to bring up Kurt Johnson. And I talked a little bit about him earlier in the show when we were doing the introductions. Everybody has so much love and respect for this man. He's tireless, and just following his newsletters or following what Kurt's up to, he's like a walking awakening world. I mean, he's in contact with all the most remarkable people. And a lot of people I've met through him, you've seen on this show, including, for example, Paul Mills. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you, Kurt, to kind of share with us, where do we go from here? How do we move forward?
Yeah, no, it's interesting and timely that we're having this discussion. I go back to what Ben just said. We're also excited about where we're at with this next threshold and this threshold that's emerged. I was thinking back to when the evolutionary leaders were first founded by Diane Williams and Deepak in a basement here in New York City, where we all met and envisioned what that group might do. Back then, that's over a decade ago, where, you know, there was the leadership mode and there was the, you know, the people who'd made a name for themselves in books. Very different than now, where there's this great pluralism, where all voices are welcome and have to be welcome. And then we have this great plurality now with this 99 days of radical collaboration. But back then, you know, that group was asking, how do a group of leaders who are really at the ignition point of then this transformative vision, what can they possibly do together? And that forming of the original evolutionary leaders and their call to conscious evolution. And the question that they were asking themselves, which is actually what's happened now, is what can we do together? We started asking that question over 10 years ago. And I think all of you know it was tough getting there. It's been a tough road for all of the abilities that we seem to have now with synergy. And like Summer was saying, with this energy of doing stuff together is an emergent thing that's happened, particularly just in the last number of years. And so we went through a period of searching for that. And then about 5 years ago at the meeting that we had at Ghost Ranch, probably, significant because it was all done with indigenous ceremony and a vision quest. And that was the beginning of us drawing colored beads and forming clans. And we made these commitments that these clans of leaders would work together to try to start something that would be this path of what we could ignite together. From that then came what we know today as the synergy circles. So 22 synergy circles in the evolutionary leaders on every area of engagement that you can imagine, from social justice to ecology to, you go through the whole list. And all of those groups very serious about creating their own events, their own initiatives, their own media about those passion areas, and emerging as an impact network. That's the term these days, how to be an effective impact network, to then emerge as an impact network across those areas of engagement. And of course, from that came Emmanuel Kunzelman, who you just saw on Cameron's video. His whole life had been dedicated to, let me make some money that I can put into a transformative movement. So he had achieved that goal. And then when he saw where the evolutionary leaders were going as an engaged impact network, he said, this is where I can put those resources. And from that came the Sedona event. So all of you know about the Sedona event, the Igniting the Holo Movement event. And I'll tell you, everything that we're talking about now, like the 99 days, and these were the ideas that got birthed by those conversations in Sedona, by the 80 to 100 leaders who gathered there, with the generosity of Emmanuel and with all the work that we put in to planning that. So what's exciting now, and it's incredible that before I came on the show, I said, I'm just going to make a list of the initiatives and really powerful initiatives that are out there already, even just from within the EL community and other communities. I had to stop at 20, that there are at least 20 major initiatives that have their own programs, their own infrastructure. Just to name some, the Holo Movement, World Unity Week in the 99 days, the Upshift Movement, Pro-Social World, you go through the whole list. And the excitement that Ben was pointing toward now is this challenge of what we're able to do together to build that network even into a more impactful impact network. So even this coming week on Wednesday, there'll be a meeting of all of the people that Emmanuel's reaching out to advise him about the structure and direction of the Holo Movement initiative. And we'll be talking about where that goes. Diane and Deborah and I, and you think we met today, and I was joking that, 10 years ago or more, it was in Deepak's basement in New York about what the evolutionary leaders might even look like. They didn't exist then. We were talking today about how the evolutionary leaders as a circle, because there should be nothing about us exclusively. The synergy circles aren't exclusive. They're involved with everybody. But really that we're going to have to reassess now how we serve that, how we water that plant, how we feed that fire, how we wait at those tables. I sometimes look at my job as coordinator of the synergy circles as been waiting on 22 tables simultaneously. And we've also talked today about, there's so much excitement about all the areas where we can engage. We're going to really have to talk about new models now of how all of these networks can work together simultaneously. So the canoe is real, the paddles are real, everything that everyone's excited about is real. Everybody's already taken that type of responsibility. Joni Carley, who's on, she does that for the thematic circle at the UN that's grown out of the Evolutionary Leaders SDG circle. Andrew Kane does it every year for Earth Day. Scott does it every week with this program, on and on and on. And of course, the goal that we all have is how we reach beyond just the echo chamber of the transformative movement and are able to take this one and only message that can really save the world. which is about the love and the oneness and the interconnection and the infrastructure of a world that could work that way, and how we get that outside the echo chamber of just the transformational movement and into the mindset and the energy of just everyday people in real time in real places. So it's exciting, and I think everybody's pumped because we really think that we're on the verge of something that's impactful to that next level. So that's kind of a nice homily if I was preaching like back in the old days. But I think that's what we can all be excited about.
Coach, can you go through how people maybe show the Synergy Circle webpage and how people, which ones people can join or how people can find a way to get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. What I'll do, I'll put into the chat the Synergy Circle webpage. There's also a newsletter that we do that's very elaborate and very nice that tells what everybody is doing. We're just working up one now that's post-World Unity Week and post-Sedona, because the Synergy Circles now have enrolled as hold-ons in the Holo movement. There's over 20 projects from the Synergy Circles that have registered as hold-ons. I have no idea how many other hold-ons from people that aren't in the Synergy Circles. And yes, so you'll need to, be in touch with me, but we're going to have to rethink this because I can't wait on more than 20 some tables at a time. And we're going to have to see how that grows. One of the big adventures that we're going to be moving into now is how we maximize how we're able to work together and make that combined impact. So I'd say that's where we're at now. And I would say probably 2/3 of the Synergy Circles are open circles. They're all self-governing. They're all independent associations. They all make their own rules. So some are open to everybody. Some are more restricted because they have certain goals that are more narrow, but that would be the way to go. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. The Synergy Circle that I know sometimes you come to that I'm most involved with is Artists Catalyzing Evolution.
Yeah.
And Kristen Hoffman is kind of the key facilitator, also Kishi Chai. And it's all people talking about their artistic expression. That particular Synergy Circle has been up until recently closed, but we've agreed that we want to expand it out a little bit, add younger people, people of color, really kind of, expand out that way. And I know that a lot of the Synergy Circles are really wanting to, expand reach so that we're bringing in different cultures, different races, different generations. Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Yeah, we really had the sliding scale of letting a founding group really get its feet on the ground first and then decide how to open up. And even if we then had more than one group that had a duplicated passion area, or we had just the reality of more than one inspired leader, we said, just set up several, just turn everybody loose. Don't try to cooperate too soon where you're going to argue among yourselves. We're going to do what you want or do what you want. Just have everyone start. And then as those mature, like Scott just said, like that the ACE group is, how do we open up now and keep the same amount of direction and cohesion and serving purpose that we've made, and then go to that next step? What I'm excited now about the artist group, and you may not even know this yet, that there's a discussion now. There are 6 Synergy Circles that have video series at the Evolutionary Leaders YouTube channel. Another way to try to get the word out beyond the choir. And we're talking about one now with regard to the divine feminine and the divine child, even based on filming that we started doing at Ben's LA Convergence. And in talking through the Synergy Circles about who would be interested in stepping up to that, the media circle, the yoga and spiritual practice circle, and the artist circle saying, wow, we could really do something with this message of the divine feminine and the divine child. It's interesting. I don't know how many of you saw Jude's program today on the divine child, but what a dynamic. Let me just say one more thing, because I need to say the thing that inspired me most, and it was the reason that I was actually gone part of this afternoon, is that I was at the IONS conference on consciousness beyond the brain. And you may not know that they have now established a $100,000 prize for people in the mainstream of science doing research on consciousness beyond the brain. And they gave their first awards today. Now, the idea behind it is that big of a prize will get interest in the mainstream scientific field to really look at this. One of the reports, and from Donald Hoffman, I think you know his book, The Case Against Reality. You know, what a great title. But he gave this program about, he said, in the future, and I love this, science will understand that magic is real locally. But because it's like love, it's so special, it's elusive and will not be able to answer to empirical testing, but it will be known to be real locally. Now, I asked everybody in this audience who's experienced magic, it's like summer dancing for 24 hours. That was real locally, right? But you'd be darn hard to go out and then nail that down with a scientific analysis. So I just found that was really an exhilarating message from what IONS was doing this afternoon.
That's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to bring up your compadre, John Raymer, because John has got us all creating our missions. And that's a big part of where we're going with 99 Days of Unity. And John, I'm going to have you do a big talk about the missions after we have our next video. But while we've got Kurt here, let's use Kurt's mission as an example. And I've pulled it up. And so tell us a little bit about this Missions 2023 program and specifically Kurt's mission.
Okay. So here's the deal. I've known Kurt and appreciate Kurt, and he is a force of nature. But I bet that unpacking that, taking the time to appreciate it, and that mission that you were just showing there, we did that. So Kurt came up with, are you sharing your screen still? Let me see.
Yeah, I'll go back to sharing it.
Okay.
All right, I'm sharing
What
it.
happened was I have the good fortune on Mondays to be in a call with Kurt. Part of his universe is the pro-social behavior, the pro-social commons that I'm a part of. But look what we did here. We said, okay. And it was really Kurt, again, the reason why I met Tamsin, right? And his whole influence on so many of us in so many different ways. But this little mind, this Kumu map here, is just a piece of the puzzle. If you scroll down, there's another map that we put together just to get to know Kurt's universe. So that interspiritual dialogue network, all of his light on light publications and media. And if you open this map, which you probably don't want to do right now, that's Becky, everyone's chatting with me here. But you could begin to connect up with what Kurt is doing and offering to the world here. So through the Convergence, his Voice America radio show, through the Evolutionary Leaders, these synergy circles, he's got a whole video series of ELs talking on YouTube that's available. The Holo movement work he's been doing with the Holons, the work with the pro-social commons, taking time because you got to know the network to knit the network. And if we could make some time for each other, there are a few amazing resources here that Kurt is stewarding and caring for. And the vision of this mission was, let's take the time to know that. And Kurt is one of the co-creators of this radical collaboration on radical collaboration. So he's a part of what we're doing in this conversation about what does it mean to be teaming up? What does teaming up really mean when you get right down to it? And how do we avoid the silos here? We don't want these missions to become more silos. So we've been working creatively on how to avoid. We've been down this path before. And there's pitfalls to avoid, opportunities not to miss. But Kurt alone, it was just such a joy for me to take the time to say, okay, how does someone subscribe to that newsletter? How does someone really get connected to that? How do they tune into Voice of America? If you follow that, you will learn how to do that. That's what that map is intended to do. And that's part of us knowing each other, appreciating each other, knowing our gifts. This is the joy of this space, is we can pause a little bit and appreciate.
Yeah, and I really have to say that's the whole team at Light on Light, Bob Atkinson, Sandra Simon, Karuna, those of us who first created the Light on Light magazine and now the Light on Light books. And so it's just, what to say, exciting.
You know, Ben and I were side chatting about you, Kurt. I just said he's one who makes the time to make others' lives better.
There's an interesting thing, like you said, that, I'm so happy.
Kurt, all right, hold on. I don't try to talk over that. I just wanted you to appreciate that kind of sacrifice is what I so admire and respect. Your willingness to take time. He said to me, well, it was Kurt who introduced me to Kristen. I didn't know that. So that kind of caring for the whole, That's the behavior that I look to be more and more like. I want more and more time for caring for each other. Just want to thank you. You help us grow. You help us live.
Well, right back at all you. And when I was talking over you and you were talking over me, I was telling the story of Brand Earth. What's really amazing in the sense that I met Tamsin through David Sloan Wilson. And then because she's a great scientist and, pioneer in biomimicry, I'm an evolutionary biologist. We all met what became the Pro Social Commons group every Monday. We met in a chat session after a Jim Garrison Humanity Rising program. And we decided that was such a great conversation. Let's get together every Monday. Started with 5 of us. Then when Pro Social came along, and then Harry Uvegi and Eli and the whole group that then became Brand Earth, they were a part of that original 5, Kurt Kruger, blah, blah, blah. And so then when the Pro Social Commons came along, birthed by Pro Social World, when they got $3.9 million from the Templeton Foundation, we said, well, let's just put another hat on. We're meeting every Monday everywhere anyway. Let's just put on the Pro Social hat. And so everybody here knows about serendipity. And if you actually go to the Synergy Circles webpage, there's a motto there that says it's the serendipities that create the synchronicities, and it's the synchronicities that create the opportunities. And our job is just to land on those opportunities with skill. And that's what John has done. That's what Scott does. That's what everybody does, is you've allowed that magic to happen. Then you've identified the opportunity, and then you've built on that skillfully. So you've built the canoe, and Scott's built Awakening World. We could go through the list of everyone here, that everybody who's followed that path, and that's magic. So
these are tales of synergy from the Magic Canoe for me. When you tell them, you see, we can write these stories. We've had these experiences, but look at that story that you just told, that bridging those connections. I mean, you can almost see it, right? And that's what makes it real for us. So yes, that's what we're doing for the next 91 days and beyond, is let's see how far we can propel ourselves forward as we shift from pitching to pooling, as we're realizing that we're all, are endowed with great gifts. We need to get to know them, and we need to share them. Thank you.
Yeah, and Rian Eisler's research that shows that the brain and our pleasure center of the brain lights up more when we're working with others and serving with others than when we're taking something.
Absolutely.
This type of co-working is exhilarating. There's no doubt about it. It's truly exhilarating. And that's where that pleasure center then lights up. And I'm sure that's what Summer was experiencing as she was dancing for 24 hours. Then her pleasure center in her brain was going ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. So,
my mentor, Marshall Rosenberg, one of my favorite quotes from Marshall is, the greatest joy in life is being of service to others. The greatest tragedy in life is when you don't know that.
Oh, that's brilliant. I won't forget that.
All right, you guys, it's Saturday night. We got to have some music.
All right.
So, what I'm going to do, because there's a lot to absorb, John's going to be back in a little while to talk about how we all can create our own missions, what 99 Days of Unity is all about. But let's go back to our beloved Kristen Hoffman. There's a name we've heard a lot over and over and over all week long. We all love Kristen, and this is her brand new song. She previewed it on World Unity Week, and then you're going to get a chance. We're going to see a lot of the audience. So here we go with a really special video from this week.
trust and love, a new earth rising, where we dance in that love and laughter, a new earth rising, a new earth rising, intimacy with all creation. There's a new earth rising, a new earth rising. Oh, sister, there's a new earth rising, a new earth rising. We are all here now, we are one with all. There's a new earth rising. Everyone's heart is softening, reclaiming their innocence. A new earth rising, where all the tears are held and cared for everywhere. All it takes is trust. All it takes is trust. Oh, family, there's a new earth rising, a new earth rising. There's a new earth rising, new earth rising. Sisters and brothers, humans, trees and rivers, trees and those rivers. Oh, love is Lord, abundance, generosity, and gratitude. It's difficult to encapsulate it all, but we do our best to call forth the heart. We're anchoring the feelings of gratitude. Lift them up, lift them up, lift them up. Wave your flags of one humanity in the air. Oh, sing with me. Oh, there is a new earth rising, a new earth rising. Oh, Gary, there's a new earth rising, a new earth rising. Oh, Summer and John, there's a new earth rising, a new earth rising. Oh, new earth rising. I see Patricia lifting it up, and Olivia, and Karen, and Danalia, and Linda, and Emily. We're lifting it up, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Oh, there's a new earth rising, new earth rising. Oh, there's a new earth rising, a new earth rising. Ooh.
I loved watching all of our Zoom roomers moving and dancing. That song, every song she does is so incredible, right?
Oh, God, that woman.
Yeah, amazing. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We are going to meet Uncle Bunna. And John, you'll be back after Uncle Bunna to talk all about 99 days and how we do our missions. Earlier, Ben Bowler called out Janice Hall. She's one of the behind the scenes angels who helps make things happen. And thank you, Janice, for bringing this wonderful gentleman up. Tell us about Uncle Bunna.
Oh, yes. Well, Uncle Bunna is just a special being in my life. And it's hard to really summarize him, but he is a senior elder of the Mirning people of the coastal country of the Great Australian Bight. He carries one of the world's oldest lineages since the Dugur, the dream time of 3,000 generations. In his youth, he was secretly passed the oral stories, traditions, and languages of his ancestors, and he now passes these teachings on to younger generations. He's been honored as one of Australia's leading Indigenous musicians with his multi-award-winning musical group called Coloured Stone. And he's been recognized by his elders as the whale songman of the Mirning people. His Mirning family are the whale dreamers of the world's greatest whale nursery and sanctuary, which he tirelessly works to protect, now in great grave danger from oil drilling, which he'll tell you about, and which I long to have you all support. They need help. They need financial help to battle this huge battle and save these whales. Excuse me. The whales are crying out for protection. I mean, literally, and they are in jeopardy. And the whale people hear this. We need to learn to hear them as well. They are ancient, they are wise, they are sentient. These beings are calling for us to help, because in helping them, we help the planet. They hold some of the most ancient secrets of this planet. So in order for this new earth to really rise, we have to really work with these sentient beings. We need to learn their language. And Uncle Bunna is one who can help us do that. So with that, I would introduce you to my dear brother, Uncle Bunna. Uncle Bunna. Excuse me, I've been up on the mountain with Chief Perry and been in the vortex of the Tahitui, which is the Split Rock Portal Mountain. And so I'm still in an altered state of reality since that auspicious occasion that I was honored to be part of today. So with that, I introduce you all to Uncle Bunna Laurie. But you got your mic on. I mean, there you go.
You could unmute, sir.
Unmute. There you go. Unmute. You unmute, Uncle. Where's Tony to help you? Tony.
While we're waiting for Uncle Bunna to unmute, in all my enthusiasm to bring him over, I did forget to go to where we can all buy Kristen's album. So I'm going to do a quick little plug for that. And this is the best place.
There we go. Oh.
Okay, just 1 second, Janice. So go to kristenhoffman.bandcamp.com. kristenhoffman.bandcamp.com, and that's where you can get her album. Let's all buy it. Let's all support her. And you know, she's got it set up so you can pick how much money you're going to pay. I paid $11.11 for mine. I want to encourage everybody to support Kristen. Get this amazing album that she spent 7 years working on. And we all love Kristen. She's, of course, such an incredibly important part of World Unity Week and of the Global Peace Tribe. And I think Uncle Bunna, with the help of his friend, now we can. Hello there.
Oh, great. Don't let him touch anything. I'll say when you again, when you on my running language means
hello, welcome, greetings, and when you get to understand that, you get wisdom, you get knowledge, and that's in our language. We have lots of our words meaning lots of things. So Gunmanira is our tradition of sharing everything with other people, and neighbors and clans, and even the whale. So the whale is it's a family. It's a family responsibility and duty. So this is why we've been, our people have been looking after country and caring for country for over 65,000 years, and that's why that ocean right now is still pristine, because of our elders and what I've done. I became an activist as well, and also I'm an original founding member of the original band Colourstone, and we have an important message in our new album called Poison Planet, and in there you can get that through Colourstone Official on Facebook, and it'll tell you the story about what are we going to do something about the poison planet. So we do that because we know that when we walk on our beaches, we're going to pick up plastic and rubbish and everywhere, and definitely this our world, planet Earth, is very important to us all human beings, and not only human beings, but to everything that lives in the sea, because that's a whale's home, and that's their only survival they have. If you can find another planet that's got the ocean, well, then you're going to have to transfer it and transport all the marine life to that planet, which is probably 7 years away. 7 years to return back, then you have a big vessel. But look, but the most important thing now is that I've been doing. We've beaten off four oil companies, and it's been getting really hard for us. And we've been trying to get World Heritage listing for year after year, and everybody's not saying anything, because what we're afraid of now is, because now that we've beaten off Equinor, when we went to Norway and told them, then they withdrew their. We told them, you're not welcome to our country. Withdraw their license, and they did. So we know that they're going to keep coming. We're going to keep coming, and they can't do that to the ocean, because ocean is the number one resource of water. That's where the rain comes from, the ocean. People don't realize that it's not coming from outer space somewhere, but it's coming from the ocean, because the water's been put here, and we believe that in our belief that whale was too responsible for the rising and the tides, in the sea rise and sea levels, and in the great creator, the Jitter. This song that I'm going to sing about is called Jitter the Great Whale, and my grandfather ever sing this song. And it's about communication, sharing the love, unity, and harmony. It's very important that we must have with our totems and with all marine life. And Jitter is a very friendly whale. And my mother and my grandmother and my grandfather used to call the whale, they're like policemen in the sea, so we have to look after them, because they look after the sea. And without whales, we wouldn't have all these beautiful, incredible, resources in the sea that's available to all living life. There's a song called Jitter in my Murning language, and I've been singing this song for lots of times, and many times, and it makes people cry, because it's a communication, it's a friendship about love and unity and harmony, and companion, family, and doing the right thing. So, and it's healing when you sing these songs to the whale, and the whale sing it to you, and when he blows that beautiful water out of the spout, it becomes a rainbow. Here it is. Hope you like it. I'm going to be imitating whales as well. Blue whale, humpback whale, southern right whale.
Thank you so much. Let's go to gallery view and give everybody some twinkles for this beautiful man coming to us from down under and representing the incredible work they've been doing for so long. And Janice, can you tell us a little bit more about the organization that you both are involved in? You're muted, Janice.
Well, as always, I am always involved, but I am the hallway, Janice Hall, the hallway. So I'm just the channel, the connector from Uncle Bunna to you and his people. I think it's best for Uncle to tell you how you can support him and what is their next steps in fighting these big oil companies that keep coming back, because there's no time for this fight anymore. The whales are being destroyed all over the planet. Although something good that just happened the other day was that Iceland has put their foot down for this, the big company that was allowed to still kill whales. And so the whales are rejoicing that now can go through and around their migration path around Iceland. But let Uncle Bunna tell you more specifically what they do and what they need.
Okay, Uncle Ben, and I'll also go to the murning.org website in a moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the birds are singing right now.
Can you tell us more about your organization, sir?
Relationship?
No, can you tell us about the Murning Elders and how people can financially support you and your next steps? What is it
Well,
that
look,
you're trying to do?
we do need
What's the
support.
next
One
challenge?
time we wanted to go to Geneva, to the United Nations, because every year goes by, as 230 years of under the thumb, and we have our rights, and we have native title right there, but there's a lot of people want to go into the bite because they know there's oil and gas and all that sort of thing, all the resources that will continue to drive this world when they know it's destructive and it's poison. And whales live in the sea because that's their home. Like I said, that's their only survival. And that the whale to us is our family. We have that duty and responsibility as a family to look after them, because we have this responsibility. If you care for the land, the sea, it will always look after you and care for you in time to come. It gives back. You look in the mirror. If you smile, your face is going to smile back at you. Kindness is like a mirror; it reflects back what it gives. So you got to continue to have that responsibility and duty. You got to become somebody to do the right thing. We try and tell people, like the song album. It took us 5 years to write this song and this album because of the COVID, but we finally got it. It's got a very important message in Poison Planet, our new album, and it says, are we going to do something about it? We are doing something about it, and we need somebody to help us. So the more we do that, it catches a fire, a chain reaction of people trying to educate people about looking after this planet and looking after all things. If you look after your house, you keep your house clean, you must keep your country clean, your land, and surely you have that responsibility and duty, and you must do that, and that we must find a way, and there must be a change in this time to come. There's a time for awakening and time for sacredness, and it's a time for caring and loving and unity. It's time for that now. And the wars is going on, right? It's incredible, and here we are. Nobody cares about our world. Nobody cares about anybody. So
We care.
I do
Uncle
care.
Bunna-
We do care.
You're with a group of people right now that care.
Really care. We care. But Uncle, if you could, maybe you could give us the names of those oil companies so we can identify them and have an understanding of, we can all do our own research to see.
Yeah,
what they're
well, the one
doing.
we just
And
the one
you
we
could
just
also
beat.
maybe tell us the next steps.
Yeah, okay. Well, Saturday, Equinor was the last one we'd beaten off. We had to travel to Norway and to Stavanger, and went to their headquarters when they had their meeting for the next government to come. But we had people in there. We had the Sea Shepherd there. We had Greenpeace, and I just told them straight to their face, "You're not welcome in our country." And I told them, because you're doing the wrong thing. You might brag about going up into the Arctic and digging oil wells and this and that, and then you say you cover it up. You don't. Look at the Gulf of Mexico, and the oil there, that's still going. Over 11 years have passed, and it's still leaking, and it's still flowing, and animals and creatures are still dying along the beach for 800 kilometers or more. And you'll find that everywhere whales and marine life are dying because there's poison in the sea, and that's why we wrote that album called Poison Planet. And that's, are we going to do something about it? We must do something about it. It's time of awakening. So I'm doing my best, for my elders. My elders tell me what to say, and I'm a musician as well, because I find being a musician also, it's people learn from what you say. It's educating other people. So and I try and do the best I can doing workshops and and Facebook. I'm just learning about Facebook myself, so getting stuff on there, So we've
Well,
got colors.
welcome to this world, sir.
Yeah.
There's several comments that came in, but I'm going to read one. It's from Ayada, and she writes, Uncle Bunna, thank you. I am both stunned and filled with joy from the extraordinary whale songs you just shared. My heart feels so full knowing that you sing with and to the whales, and he hears back from the whales as well. So here's the website. Here's how we can support him. Go to mirning.org. That's Mirning, mirning.org. And that's where you can get all sorts of information about what they're doing, about the stories from the whales, the albums. You can click for a beautiful story here. It's a really lovely website. I enjoyed looking at it earlier today. And this is how we can support this wonderful man. And sir, welcome to the social media world, and welcome to the Awakening World and to World Unity Week. It's an honor to know that you're out there. And thank you again, Janice, for
And also, Scott, just one more thing.
Sure.
Our music, Poison Planet, is available on through from Universal Music, and also you can find it on Colored Stone Official. And
on what, sir?
Colored Stone Official. Colored Stone Official. You'll see it on Facebook. You'll see Bunalari Official. You can download those albums like Poison Planet, and we have 10 albums out, and they're all remastered, and lots of good message in those songs about love, care, and harmony, and caring for the ocean, the rivers, and everything. So we write about songs. We're trying to educate people trying to wake them, and like we say, it's a time for awakening and time for sacredness. So music is a medicine, and it's healing as well. So and we believe that, and that's the thing is important. And love, love, unity, and harmony. One of the main things we must not only share amongst humans, but all living life on this planet. We have to be kind to all beings on this earth, because there's, like I said, there's only one planet Earth in this old galaxy and old cosmos.
A big thanks to Pam, who just donated to you. So Pam, if you want to put the actual link, I wasn't able to find the donation link on his website, so you're smarter than I am. If you can put the donation link in, that would be great. And if somebody can find, oh great, here is the website. So we put into the Zoom room the website. It's Colored Stone official page. Okay, thank you, Janice, for finding that.
And it's also spelled the European way, O-U-R, rather than the American way.
Thank you, Omashar. See, we all come together. It takes a tribe to figure out how to support Uncle Bunna, but we're doing it. Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much, Scott. Thank you. Very kind.
I realized that I didn't, usually every week, I like to invite the people watching to come and join the Global Peace Tribe. And I've been so excited with all the World Unity Week and all these amazing guests. I haven't done that yet. So a big hello to all of you who are watching us on the Sign Network. And we go out to as many as 200 groups and pages. And a big thanks to John and Summer Raymer, who are here with us. They're the ones who make that happen. So if you're watching us on Facebook or maybe on YouTube, you might be watching us on the Conscious Awakening Network or Humanities Team. Welcome. And you know what? Come and join the Global Peace Tribe. It's really easy to do that. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. You can scroll around, learn all about us. You'll get a free copy of a wonderful book by Deborah Giusti all about activating your soul tribe. And then click register for the new season, and that'll take you to our registration page. And this is a perfect time to register because our new season begins on July 1st, which is next week. So if you register today, you're going to get the links to all of our shows from now through the end of September. We do 3 or 4 shows every week. This week, we on Wednesday night, we put all of our attention on Kristen Hoffman's concert. This is the show you're watching right now, highlights from World Unity Week and moving forward. And then tomorrow, and you all want to come in for tomorrow's show. We've got Kalina, who was on once before, and she blew people's minds. She's a medical intuitive and a healer, and she's going to provide actual healing for members of our Zoom room. So you want to join tonight. So you get the links to our Zoom room, come on into the Zoom room, and she'll do healings for somewhere between 10 and 12 people tomorrow. And she's the real deal. She's really, really special. I've had a lot of people say, bring Kalina back. And so she's agreed to come back tomorrow. So join the Global Peace Tribe. We do 3 or 4 shows each week. We did a special one this morning where we did a live stream to the Split Rock event. And we have a lot of interesting things planned for the summer, which we'll be announcing over the next week or two. We're going to actually increase the number of activities that we're providing online as we're doing more collaboration with the Twin Ray. So stay tuned, join us. Now is the time to join the Global Peace Tribe. And the best part of being part of the Global Peace Tribe is you get to hear music from Omashar at every show. Yeah. And so with that in mind, I'm going to take it to Omashar for a moment, who's going to give us a little ditty, and then we're going to go to John Raymer, who is going to show us how to create our missions and what 99 Days of Unity is all about. But here he is, our wonderful co-pilot, our wonderful brother, Omashar. Hey, buddy.
Sometimes it feels so hard to move along, saying goodbye to yesterday. Take heart, my friends, there is a new song bringing us back to our homelands. When something troubles you, just call out my name. I am the one who loves you. Be still within. Hear what I say. Give me the chance to be with you. We are one heart, one mind, one soul, working together to heal. And there are no walls between us now. It's a celebration of union. So when you're feeling down and on your own, take a look around. I am in everything. Give me your burden, walk into my arms. I will lift you up, I will hold you. We are one heart, one mind, one soul, working together to heal. And there are no walls between us now. It's a celebration of union. We are the ones who hear the new voice calling us home to freedom. Fear not, my friends, this is a new place full of new joys and happiness. Yes, we are one heart, one mind, one soul, working together to heal. And there are no walls between us now. It's a celebration of union.
Wow, I like the gong effect. That's pretty cool.
Gone with the wind.
It was good. It was good.
I was it's funny because all throughout the World Unity Week there's been the occasional Becky Suzik borrowed her China gong, this huge thing from her father, and every so often she just whack it and anyway bring us to attention. Thank you, Becky.
I did get the gong experience earlier today from her, and it was quite like, whoa, where is that? All right. All right. So World Unity Week has come to a close, and it's all to set us up for 99 days of unity, which takes us to Peace Week. And we're now going to go to John Raymer, who's going to share with us how we all can create our own missions and how we're going to do this. John, take it away.
Well, Scott, in honor of what you just said, some of you who've been here, I just changed things. The order. So this is Mighty Network. This is a place for us to connect. World Unity Week used to be the first thing under 99 days. It's now down on the bottom because that's done. We're moving through missions on our way to Peace Week 2023. And this is the chance for us to really get to know each other at a much deeper level, given the urgency of the situation. And listening to Uncle Bunna, we could use what he's saying as an example, because this is about us figuring out what does it mean to really radically collaborate, because we're in a new medium and we do really care. When he said, I don't know if people care, and yes, we care, and we're finding each other. So I want to put forward the idea of the missions and how it could even be applicable to exactly what Uncle Bunna and the band that he's a part of are up to, and everything that all of us are doing. So this is a page right here. When you go to these different spaces, they're called, this is the overview. And up here, you can go through this, and we've tried to spell it out to be as clear as we can about the opportunity that we're proposing here. We're encouraging you to be creative, ambitious, and bold, and put in a proposal that could advance the work that you're doing, or a group that you're involved with is doing, or an alliance that you're involved with. We've got a 99-day time frame. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do something for 99 days. It could be every once a week, it could be every 2 weeks, but it's within that time frame with the goal of us coming together during Peace Week to share the outcomes and the results. We're encouraging this idea of cross-disciplinary. We have a whole mission focusing on 99 days of radical collaboration by teaming up, led by Dr. Tamsin Woolley Barker, who we've mentioned a number of us. And many of us, and all of us, are invited to really co-create that radical collaboration on radical collaboration. And we're promising to be supportive during this period. And then again, like I said, at the end of the 99-day period, to convene and during Peace Week. And right here on this overview page, like we say, we believe that the collective power of individuals working towards a shared vision can create a profound and lasting impact. And we're inviting you to be part of really bringing life to the idea that the new earth is rising, and there is a new earth rising. So declare your mission here. Now, here's the thing. This section here is all the missions, and you can go here and see all of them. Some of them are very moving. Some of them are really challenging. But one of the things that we're supporting and making sure that we don't create more silos is, let me show you here. If I click on missions, there's a little article here. And I know a favorite on your show, Scott, is Hereditary Chief Phil Lane. An amazing work that he's been doing. Well, when I first met Phil, it was 2008, he shared these guiding principles with me that had been stewarded at that time over 30 years. And it was so simple and elegant and powerful. We wrote this paper on deep social networks, but the summary statement is that you're starting from within, working in a circle, in a sacred manner. We heal and develop ourselves, our relationships, and the world. Phil's always been an advocate, what he calls a principle-centered approach. So we're trying to bring awareness to how our missions are synergizing with each other. And actually what we've done here is taken those principles and broken them into this idea of different synergy teams. And we're going to be convening on a regular basis. Imagine a breakout room where you can find out all the other folks that are working on things. Now we say starting from within, oh, that's personal and spiritual. And we lay out here, these could include things like knowing one's identity, purpose, meaning, inner fulfillment, well-being. So we've broken these 6 teams that really illuminate those principles. Starting from within is personal and spiritual. Working in a circle, well, the way we're working is changing. This connects our missions with what we do in our everyday lives, making and fulfilling commitments, exploring new possibilities, trading and exchange, new currencies, new economies. All of that needs to change. So if you're, and this spells out in here, the kinds of concerns that missions related to that will meet. We want you to be able to meet with others that are doing similar things. So we don't do redundant things, but we do things that we never could have imagined doing because we were thinking about doing them by ourselves. So in a sacred manner, deals with all the governance and politics, public trust, accountability, allocating resources, how electing officials, are they making decisions for the greatest good for the greatest number of people? And we spell out, okay, this particular team, if you will, this domain deals with all the issues having to do with representation, democracy, social justice, equality, government transparency. And we want you to add to this human rights and civil liberties based on your missions. We'll group them together. Because one of the things, let me just give you the 2 more that there are, social and cultural. So we heal and develop ourselves and our relationships. Well, that deals with how we interact, how we build healthy cultures, how we self-regulate, co-regulate. The social and cultural address a whole range of issues: diversity, inclusion, social justice, human rights, cultural preservation, art, culture, creativity, social cohesion, community building, mental health, well-being, education, right? So if you've got missions that are related to that, we want to give you a chance to meet with others who are doing similar areas. Ecological and environmental, that's how we develop our relationship with the world, addressing the natural world and all life on Earth. Addressing concerns like climate change and global warming, biodiversity loss and habitat destruction, pollution, contamination, right? And then the 6th realm is the holistic. Those initiatives and missions like the Global Peace Tribe, like Unity Earth, that are dealing with the holistic idea about systemic change. And there's real challenges there with systemic barriers and power dynamics, and how are we going to deal with the parts of the whole that are focused on all the interconnections and making this all happen. Our dream is that we become a deep, beloved network of networks that has influence in the world, that can actually make change happen. And we think that knowing what is ours to contribute is part of what a healthy community can do with each other. Identifying and leveraging our unique strengths, expertise, resources to benefit others. This can involve sharing insights, providing support, collaborating. The phrase, know the network to knit the network, emphasizing the importance of understanding individuals and organizations within our network. Just tonight, we got to see introducing Emmanuel and Laura and Purpose Earth to Brand Earth. That was like historic. So in summary, trust building, cultivating a deep social network of networks, understanding each other's offerings, and actively contributing value are all vital components for fostering collaboration, driving innovation, and achieving mutual growth within our network. This is the new Earth Rising. So it's a starting point. It's not intended to be anything other than a draft. See if the missions you're doing fit there. See if we can then convene and start to weave our strategies together and turn what we have into what we need. Know the network, like your dream of tripling the audience, right? This thing about sacrifice. There's something about actually taking the time building the practice to say, how do I demonstrate the care for the people I have around me? You know, Summer likes her coffee filled to the top. I don't like my coffee filled to the top. I put it in about half, but I fill her cup. When I do it, I fill it to the top. It's a funny thing, but you get the point? It's kind of like, hey, I know this works for Scott. This is something I could do for Scott. This is something I could do for Ben. And having the wherewithal and having the knowledge of each other. Oh, there's the holy cow. My God. I'll put the milk from the holy cow right there in the coffee. There's something new for us to discover about caring. Like I said, AI doesn't care.
Well, what we're going to do on the Awakening World, by the way, Holy Cow, I think tried to talk and you're muted.
Love to hear from the Holy Cow.
Maybe he's just chewing his cud. I'm not quite sure.
By the way, the genius of all this is working with Ben. He's behind all of this, and Kurt and you and the man. I mean, there is just truly a beautiful community.
Hey, I see that Dana has started a mission, and she's inviting participation and collaboration. So, for example, I've seen this for the first time, just showed up in the chat box. So let's take a look at what Dana is doing. Dana is anchoring divine light and the energies of Lemuria through sound. She's transitioning into a new phase of expression of her service work. She's talking about it. There's a beautiful call to action. So there we go. Let's all support Dana. What a beautiful, beautiful piece of art she's got connected to that. So there you go. Here's an example.
Funny you bring that up. I want to tell you that she is going to be sharing in the Cosmic Beloved Community Circle Zoom room tomorrow, which is a 9-day cycle. And she's been a lovely collaborator already. And she will be sharing, am I frozen? Dana will be sharing in that circle, which will be the first of, the second of 11 events that Heather and I will be co-hosting and offering to the Global Peace Tribe and all those that have missions to be in a sharing, talking circle and dancing together. So thank you, Dana.
Scott.
Yes, John.
There's one other thing about this mighty network I want to make sure people see. So share your screen, bring it up like we do with Dana, but the missions all have these tags. And that makes it easy. Yeah, I could do it if it's easier.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So these tags, and you can come up with your tag, you know them as hashtags from other parts of the world, other platforms. But what's nice about them here is that, and this is Dana's, but what I began to notice is that there are similarities. So look what happens here. So we had a bunch of folks, and I go to the tag now that says end war. Well, Phil started his mission with ending war, but you know what? Then sure enough, Nuclear Prayer Day comes along. And then 2 more missions come in, urgent call to all women, another one for all women to end war, American Peace March. So again, the use of these tools are going to make it easy for us to start to get to know not just the individual missions independently, but to start to see how they group together, how these tags can pull them together on topics. As we learn about the similarities between what we're doing and then nesting them into those teams, the idea that there's groups that are working. That's the way large software development projects, mass collaborations are done, so that everyone's working on different modules, but they're able to bring their own creativity. This is open source at its best, guys. I am so excited about the potential to go from mass collaboration to really radical collaboration.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. So listen, what we're going to be doing is all summer long, John, I'm going to ask people when they create a mission, anytime during our shows, I'll find a time to say, okay, like we just did with Dana, here's what Connie and Andrew are doing. Here's what Omashar is doing. Here's what Summer is doing. I hope that you'll come on periodically and help remind people how to work with it, give people the lowdown.
Well, you could do a show based on a hashtag. You find a hashtag that groups together 3 or 4 missions, right? It's like a theme for a show. That's really what it is for you.
That's a great idea. That's what
how
we'll
it
do.
actually works, right? He goes, hey, and these may be missions that aren't even aware of each other. The leaders can find each other in the awakening world.
I love that idea. That we will do that. We will do exactly that.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, you know what else makes sense? One of the people I so wanted to spotlight tonight has finally blessed us with her presence. At least she was here a moment ago. There she is. It's Becky Susan.
Oh, she came. Oh my God, she had this sermon she's been working on. Oh, you're Becky. Amazing.
Becky,
you just can't stay away, can you?
I was missing everybody. I was like just missing everyone, and just, oh my gosh, it's just such an incredible experience seeing everybody offering so many beautiful gifts and healing
and Ben turned into a holy cow.
Sacred cow. He looks like he's wearing I thought it was a ministerial collar. I have a purple clergy shirt like that I'm wearing tomorrow for my service, actually. That's funny. That's great. Has Holy Cow announced his and Holy Cow's and one of our missions?
No, that we're turning it over to you. Tell us about your missions.
Is that really him now? Is he asleep? And he's got Sophia the robot dressed up like Holy Cow and Well, one of our missions is to inspire people to go vegan for good for 99 days, to experiment with removing animal products, holy cows, out of our diet, replacing milk cream, dairy cream with almond cream, or there's some really amazing blends. And so we're actually going to have a program Wednesday or Thursday of this week. We weren't able to do it during World Unity Week, where my partner Robert and I and Ben and Irina, we're going to be launching what we're doing, and in greater detail, and sharing recipes and sharing some of the reasons and the stories from our own journeys and why we each have committed to going vegan for good. And I remember Dr. Silas Rao once said to me when I told him, he said, "Oh, you're going vegan." And he told some other people, and I said, "Well, I'm not a vegan yet." And he said, "Going vegan is something you do for the rest of your life. It's, there are always different nuances and different things that you can change, that you become more aware of how your purchasing patterns or your dietary patterns may be causing more harm to the environment and to yourself than the choices that I try to make as a vegan. Anyway, it's about being vegan joyfully and eating delicious food as well. And I'm really love challenging Robert. He and I challenge each other to convert different recipes to vegan and gluten-free. But I love the missions. I love this layer because it gives us an ability to not only hold a vision and a mission for ourselves, but to see how we can contribute to each other's missions and open up our own hearts and hands in exploration of how we can be, weave that into our daily routines and things. So this is one that we hope that will be curious to people. And I love what John said when we shared this with him. He said, he wants to try and do many days, he wants to experiment with it too. And so invite you to Summer Joy. And so
yeah, I want to turn over to Summer Joy just for a minute because it's 8:00. We're almost done here. We've got about 5 minutes left, or 7 minutes. But Summer, tell everybody about what you're going to be doing, and then we're all going to direct attention over to you as soon as we finish, which is in a few minutes.
Bring your fabulous vegan or not vegan self to the dance floor. It's an after World Unity Week dance party that's just been kind of inspired over these last couple of days of how to end and transition into the 9th day of the 99 days in a big, beautiful way. So it's going to be the first 99 minutes of the 24-hour dance that we did in the Cosmic Beloved Community Circle Room last week. So come on in and, be you, whatever that is, as a holy cow or whatever it is, as we have a lot to celebrate and honor. this
And
evening.
so Zoom roomers, all of us, we've put the link into the chat box. For those of you watching on Facebook, there's still time. Join Global Peace Tribe, get the links for the next 4 months, and you'll be able to see the link to where we're all going to go, because we're going to all dance with Summer in a few minutes. All right. Becky is amazing. We all love Becky. And I was chatting with her about World Unity Week stuff. And somehow we got on the subject of pride, and she let me know that this is a topic close to her. She didn't know, and some of you might not know, that I made a movie called Men in Love, which was a groundbreaking film way back in 1989. We played all over the world with it. It was really a very powerful, big part of my life. 3 years of my life went into writing it, directing it, producing it, raising the money for it, traveling with it. The theme, the marketing campaign became Why Did a Straight Man, Me, Make a Gay Movie? And so Becky and I got talking, and I'm really grateful that Becky is going to be one of our actual featured presenters on the next week's Awakening World. On Wednesday night, we're celebrating Pride, Pride Month. And of course, Trish is my regular co-host, but you may see Trish, certainly in this photo, probably on Wednesday night, in a way you've never seen Trish before. She might be coming as one of her many alter egos of different gender. Also, Emily Orem, my beloved of 5 years and a dear friend, will be with us. And then Katarina Phoenix is joining us. She's going to represent the trans community. And Craig Walker is going to be with us representing the gay community. So it's going to be a really, really fun show. And make sure you all join us Wednesday night as we celebrate Pride. And everybody remember to stay muted. Becky, anything you want to add about kind of your special relationship to Pride Month and the Pride community?
Yeah, it's extraordinary. It's why I was late tonight is I'm actually working on a sermon I'm giving tomorrow, which I'll share some of the pieces with everyone on Wednesday. And the sermon that I'm writing is called The Diversity of Us, Allyship as a Verb, because if you look up allyship, it's a noun, but it's allyship is something that we all can actively do. And so I'm really grateful to be able to come on the program and expand my own heart and awareness as a cisgendered woman. I aspire to be a staunch ally for equality, for everyone's right to love who they love and to be who they are, and to affirm people with the assignments and the labels that feel good to people. And so I'm really grateful for your program that you're doing, Scott. And I have my Pride frame on right now, and I think it can come through that we all could switch that on for Wednesday night. And so just send so much gratitude to Global Peace Tribe for all that you're doing in support of expanding all of our understanding as well, and compassion. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Becky. Looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Absolutely. Welcome to, we're almost done, our Global Peace Tribe announcements. And really the most important announcement is it's time to register. The Zoom room links that you've been using, tomorrow is the last day. And then we will be going to the new season next week. So it's really, really important to register. And I want to really ask people to register at the $75 level or higher, and then you can bring on guests. If you register at the level, you can actually invite up to two other guests that will also get subscriptions for the whole summer. Some are up here up north, winter down south. Basically, our season goes from July through the end of September. And we're going to do some different things for this next season. We're going to have a regular meditation program for people to tune in on a regular basis, possibly even daily. We're talking with the Twin Ray community about some exciting developments, and you'll be hearing all about that over the next couple of weeks. And as always, we have a lot of great shows planned, collaborating with all of your favorites. We'll be collaborating with Larissa Stowe, Kristen Hoffman, Tangela, and Eden Amadora. And those are all just some of the people that I'm collaborating with in July. We're going to be doing some really good shows. So make sure you register now. Again, go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, click register for the new season. That'll take you to the registration page. And I've also put that link into the chat box. Also a reminder that we are doing big events now. We've had a couple of retreats. We're planning some more retreats. And when you register, you get the links to all of our Zoom rooms. Plus, you're going to get the email that I send out every Monday that's got the replays of the previous week. So you can go back and watch the shows that you might have missed or show them again. And again, thank you everybody who has registered. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you. I love a Global Peace Tribe. Also, one last thought about tomorrow, a reminder that we are bringing back Kalina, who is a remarkable healer. And Omashar will be with us, so we'll have a couple more Omashar songs tomorrow. And Tangela will be with us. But really, it's going to be pretty much Kalina providing healing for right there on Zoom. She does it from her home to your home. So join us tomorrow. That's the Sacred Sunday Show, 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to bring back some of our wonderful guests who were with us. Uncle Bunna, what a pleasure to meet him, huh? And of course, John Raymer. Kurt Johnson is still with us. Thank you, Kurt, for all that you do. I think the Holy Cow is still with us. There's Connie. She's replaced Andrew, who was on earlier in the show. They're kind of interchangeable, I guess. And there's the Holy Cow. Where'd Uncle Bunna go? There's Uncle Bunna. And let's go find John. All right. So we are all going to head over now to dance with Summer Joy. So let's put that link in one more time. John, anything you want to say about what Summer's going to be doing? Or Ben, any last words?
She's amazing. I have to tell you that, but it's true. And dancing with her will bring you joy. And it's so uplifting. What a celebration. That's the first hour. That's the first 99 minutes she did. That's what we're going to hear. She
Beautiful.
lovingly put those together.
All right. So I'm putting the link in. So you guys all go. Well, I can't copy. I have to copy the whole thing. So hold on. I'm putting it back into the chat box one more time. Whoops, wrong one.
Great show, Scott. Great show. Amazing. Amazing to see everybody. As it begins, so it ends with Summer Joy dancing. Connie and Andrew, I'm excited about your movie. There's so much goodness here. We love the Global Peace Tribe. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Dr. Johnson, you're the best. Brother John, love it. And Uncle Bunna, deep respect to you. Deep respect to you, Uncle. Thank you for your beautiful song. Blessed. Blessed is our family.
Absolutely. All right, I've put the Zoom room in. So everybody go ahead and click over there. It's right there in the chat box. It says Sign Network Zoom US. Click and goodbye, Ben. Goodbye, Holy Cow. Goodbye, everybody. I want you to all click over. Let's all head over to Summer Joy. I will see you there. Uncle Bunna, God bless you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'm going to close this out and head over to Summer Joy.
Hi, Uncle Bunner.
That's Connie. That's my wife. We're coming to Australia in January and February. We'll come and see you.
We want your wisdom in our film.
Oh, Mashar, you got made the host automatically because you were co-hosted. So you need to end the live stream.
We're going.
At the under where it says more or where the custom live streaming service, there's a little box that says stop.
So here we go. Love you all. See you in Summer's Dance Room in a 5, 4, 3, 2,